Hello, my name is Sarah McAleer. I'm a dietitian here at Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital working on the Jump to It program, and today I will do my presentation called What's on My Plate. So today I'll be going first through our research that we conducted to support our recommendations for the Jump to It curriculum. The first thing we'll be talking about is the source of calories in children's diets. And research showed that about 40% of calories that children were eating were in the form of empty calories, meaning the top sources were grain desserts such as cookies, cakes, pies, pizza, and sugary beverages. So showing that empty calories are a major contributor to children's daily intake is one of the areas we want to focus in on, is changing what types of foods kids are eating. The second area that we looked at was looking at portion sizes. In general, our country overall is consuming larger portion sizes. This increase started around the 1970s and has continued to be a growing area that we need to look at. Research shows that if we provide larger portion sizes to children, they tend to eat more. So giving a child a large portion encourages them to eat more, which also then increases caloric intake. So trying to start off with smaller portions is the recommendation that we're trying to teach parents and other caregivers. The third area that we looked at was looking at fruit and vegetable intake, and research studies showed that only about 15% of children between the age of 4 and 8 were actually meeting the recommendation of 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. In one recent study, it also showed that fried potatoes made up about 46% of total vegetable intake for children. And the low fruit and vegetable intake has been linked with an increase in the risk of obesity in children. So a very important area that we'll be focusing in on is increasing fruit and vegetable intake in the children's diets. The fourth area that we looked at was what are children drinking? So the effect of beverage intake on weight status is something that's important. One study showed that sweetened beverage intake at the age of 5 predicted a higher body fat during childhood and adolescent period. Also with a decreased nutrient intake as a result of the sugary beverage intake, since they tend to replace milk and water. We also have an increased fruit juice intake that's been shown to have an effect on excess weight gain over time. Although 100% fruit juice is considered a fruit serving, we still need to watch the quantity of juice that children are drinking. So your children will be learning the MyPlate tool. This is something that replaced the Food Guide Pyramid and the MyPyramid of recent. And the teaching messages of the MyPlate is that half of their plate should be fruits and vegetables. Also that with the grains, it should be about a quarter of the plate, and it should have in a day at least half of their grains should be whole grains. Also trying to switch to low fat or fat-free milk is recommended. Enjoying your food but eating less, as if you look up at the graphic in the corner, you'll see that fruits and vegetables make up half the plate and grains and protein are only a quarter of the plate. So that is areas where you're going to look at to try and decrease the portion sizes of grains and protein, since we tend to eat more of those types of foods. Also trying to drink water instead of sugary drinks is another message of the MyPlate. If you go to the website, the myplate.gov, you can also find lots of resources here and also additional food recommendations. Your children will be learning about these different colors that are represented by the food groups, and they'll be learning about this graphic, so you will see this hopefully coming home with your children. Another area that we'll be teaching your children is a message called 10-5-2-1-0. The 5 in that message stands for eating 5 servings of fruits and vegetables. So the recommendations would be to try and serve at least 1 fruit and or vegetable at every meal and snack. Try to eat what we call eat the rainbow, meaning different colors of fruits and vegetables. The more colors that you can provide, the better as far as different nutrients. Another issue is having kids to eat fruits and vegetables can be difficult. So the message is to try, and try again, and trying to encourage them to eat something up to 10 times. Research shows that it can take up to 10 times of them trying a food before they'll actually begin to enjoy it. So try not to give up after the first try if they don't like it. Another area that's important is trying to offer children choices so that they feel like they're part of the decision-making process, and offering them, do you want a fruit such as an apple or banana versus just giving them one choice. So choices are important, as well as them having any work in helping make the food also encourages children to eat more of that food as well. The other message in that 10-5-2-1-0 that deals with nutrition is the 0, and that stands for 0 sugary drinks. So trying to choose low-fat milk and water as daily drinks, limiting the sugary drinks such as pop, Kool-Aid, Gatorade, fruit punches, those types of drinks that have nothing but empty calories and no nutrients. Trying to be a good role model as far as avoid drinking those drinks in front of your children, and trying to allow children to have these drinks so that they're only sometimes drinks, meaning we have them no more than 2 times a week, so that they can be in the child's diet, but we do recommend limiting them to just a couple times a week and not on a daily basis. An example to show you why a beverage choice is important. If you look at this daily intake here, this child had breakfast 8 ounces of apple juice, lunch 8 ounces of orange juice, after school they had a Capri Sun, and dinner they had Kool-Aid, which would equate to 420 calories of just liquid calories. So we want to try and make sure that we're watching how much we're taking in liquids, especially if the drinks are non-nutritive and only providing us sugar. As you can see in the bottom corner, the Capri Sun there has 4.5 sugar cubes and nothing else except sugar and water in that beverage. So looking at beverage choice is a very important thing to think about. And that is the end of our presentation for today. And hopefully your children will be coming home with these messages, and you will be helping them learn along the way to make the good choices as far as nutrition. Thank you.